Have you ever heard a language spoken by angels? Imagine standing in a dimly lit chamber, candlelight dancing across ornate sigils etched into the floor. A hush falls over you as a voice, neither wholly human nor entirely divine, whispers strange syllables into the air. These are not words you know, yet they vibrate with uncanny resonance, as if carrying fragments of a forgotten cosmos. This is the doorway into Enochian Magic, a celestial tongue revealed in ecstatic visions, rumored to unlock mysteries that lie beyond mortal understanding. Today, we embark on a journey into the heart of this enigmatic language, one that scholars, occultists, and truth-seekers have pursued for centuries. You'll learn how Enochian words first poured through the veils of the invisible world, guided by angels to 16th century alchemists John Dee and Edward Kelley. You'll witness how those carefully inscribed characters became keys to summon unseen intelligences and bend reality's subtle threads. But this isn't mere historical curiosity. Behind every strange vowel cluster and cryptic glyph lies a power still waiting to be awakened. In this video, we'll tease apart the layers of Enochian's mystical grammar, uncover its hidden philosophical underpinnings, and reveal why some practitioners claim it can still reshape consciousness today. You'll glimpse the rituals designed to tune your own mind to its frequencies, and discover the exhilarating promise of speaking in a language older than any human tongue. Prepare to step beyond simple words into a living, breathing system of magic. By the end of our exploration, you may never hear language the same way again. We'll lift the veil on angelic alphabets, unveil paradoxes that challenge everything we think we know about communication, and offer you the first steps toward experimenting with Enochian for yourself. Brace yourself, truth seeker. The boundary between heaven and earth is thinner than you imagine. And tonight, we begin to speak the language across that threshold. In the waning years of the Renaissance, when scholars brushed shoulders with alchemists, and the boundaries between science, magic, and religion shimmered like a mirage, two Englishmen dared to breach the veil between earth and heaven. John Dee, court mathematician to Queen Elizabeth I, and his enigmatic partner, Edward Kelley, retreated into secluded chambers, notebooks overflowing with arcane diagrams and coded entries. By candlelight, Kelley gazed into a polished crystal orb, while Dee recorded every syllable that shimmered through the glass, an otherworldly tongue whispered by angelic presences. These Enochian calls would form the foundation of a language they believed predated human speech itself. Born in the antediluvian visions of the patriarch Enoch, the man who walked with God and was granted celestial secrets beyond mortal ken, the origin story reaches back even further, to the apocryphal Book of Enoch, a text suppressed by ecclesiastical authorities, yet preserved in fragments across Ethiopian and Slavic manuscripts. There lies the legend of Watchers, celestial beings who descended to teach humanity forbidden arts, only to be cast out for unlocking paths best left unexplored. Dee and Kelley claimed their angelic interlocutors were those very Watchers, now repentant and guiding deserving seekers back toward divine harmony. Every strange consonant and vowel had its place in a celestial alphabet, every glyph a portal to summon invisible intelligences. For Dee, language was more than communication. It was the very fabric of creation, the logos through which divine will is enacted. Philosophically, Enochian magic embodies the Hermetic axiom, as above, so below. Its practitioners view speech not as a mirror of reality, but as its progenitor. Uttered with precision, words become living forces, resonating through the subtle planes and bending the threads of fate. The Enochian system weaves together Kabbalistic symbolism, Neoplatonic cosmology, and Christian angelology, forming a tapestry where each letter carries a numeric potency, and each utterance sets cosmic machinery into motion. In its ideal form, the magician becomes a bridge between mortal limitation and divine omnipresence, speaking a primal tongue that unites all levels of existence. Yet, for all its lofty promise, Enochian magic sank into obscurity almost as quickly as it emerged. The original manuscripts changed hands, were hidden in private collections, or locked behind ecclesiastical walls, fearful of heresy. Dee's diaries, written in a blend of English shorthand, Latin, and secret ciphers, were scattered across Europe, some pages lost, others misinterpreted by later readers unfamiliar with the visionary context. Over centuries, misunderstandings proliferated. Some occultists dismissed Enochian as mere gibberish or an elaborate hoax. Others attempted fragmented rituals that produced nothing but disillusionment. The Church, wary of any practice that seemed to channel angels outside of sanctioned liturgy, branded it suspect. Meanwhile, evolving scientific rationalism cast all things occult into the shadows of superstition. Today, the rediscovery of Dee's journals and a renewed interest in experiential spirituality have brought Enochian magic back into the spotlight, but its true power remains elusive, concealed behind centuries of mistranslation and secrecy. To approach it requires not only scholarly rigor, deciphering archaic scripts and reconstructing lost calls, but also a willingness to surrender ordinary assumptions about language, reality, and the nature of intelligence itself. In the next section, we will peel back those layers, exploring the core concepts of Enochian speech and the rituals designed to awaken its latent potency. Only then can we grasp why a language whispered by angels might still echo in the hidden chambers of our consciousness. Imagine Enochian not as a static lexicon, but as a living, crystalline matrix of sound. Each letter a shimmer of frequency, each word a resonance field that ripples through the unseen. At its heart lies the Enochian alphabet, 21 angular characters, none borrowed from Latin or Hebrew, each one born in Kelley's crystal visions. To speak in Enochian is to trace geometries in the air, to animate sacred sigils with the breath. The structure of the calls. Enochian unfolds through two intertwined elements: the calls, also called keys, and the invocation tables. The calls are 19 poetic incantations, verses of strange yet strangely lyrical cadence, such as Ol Sonf Vorsk, Ol Nazorsk Vril, Goho Iad Balt. These aren't random syllables. Each segment corresponds to a chamber on the invocation table, a grid of 52 angels organized by spiritual hierarchy. When you intone a call, you awaken that particular chamber, summoning its presiding intelligence into your sphere of consciousness. Picture a vast cosmic library, each volume sealed by a sonic seal. The calls are the exact pronunciations that unlock them. Breath as sacred instrument central to Enochian practice is the method of articulation. Practitioners learn to modulate breath with near-surgical precision, neither hurried nor lax. A single call may require pauses calibrated to inner pulses, a subtle crescendo of air that charges each utterance with intent. Just as a violinist coaxes complexity from a string, the Enochian magician coaxes revelation from sound. The rhythm of speech becomes a ritual in itself. Inhale deeply as you align your will. Exhale as the angelic syllables flow, carrying your consciousness toward the thresholds of perception. Sigils and tablets. Underpinning the language are the sigils of the governors, unique geometric diagrams received alongside the calls. Each sigil corresponds to an angelic ruler: Babelel of the east, Zax of the south, Tiriel of the west, and so on. The invocation table places these sigils within a fourfold cosmic compass, mapping elemental and planetary forces. When you speak an Enochian word, you simultaneously inscribe a psychic contour around yourself, marking space on those invisible tables. It's like drawing a luminous boundary that both protects and channels power. A living grammar. Unlike natural languages, Enochian grammar is sparse but potent. There are no superfluous articles or conjunctions. Each word functions as a pure operator, an energetic command rather than mere description. Verbs become directives: open, reveal, bestow, and nouns become vessels or conduits. Adjectives infuse quality: holy, eternal, fixed, but never clutter meaning. The result is a stark, crystalline syntax that moves with telegraphic urgency. Every utterance propels the magician closer to a luminous dimension where thought, word, and being fuse. Analogy: the music of the spheres. To illustrate, imagine Enochian as the score of the cosmos itself. In Western music, a single note can evoke sadness, joy, or tension. In Enochian, a single syllable can open a metaphysical chamber, aligning your psyche with the inherent intelligence of that plane. Just as ancient sages spoke of the music of the spheres, celestial bodies orbiting according to harmonic ratios, so Enochian syllables orbit around spiritual frequencies, each calling a chord that gently tunes your inner instrument. Unanswered mysteries. Even after centuries of study, key questions remain. Do certain calls vibrate more strongly on particular days or planetary alignments? Can one truly converse with intelligences beyond human will? Or is Enochian ultimately a mirror reflecting our psyche? These enigmas linger like shadows at the edge of candlelight, beckoning you to lean in, yet never fully revealing their form. In the next section, we will press deeper into these mysteries, exploring advanced concepts, paradoxical insights, and hidden meanings that refuse to remain confined to the page. We'll confront the myths that have obscured Enochian's power and uncover surprising tales of practitioners who claimed to walk through walls of air by simply speaking the ancient tongue. The path grows more esoteric, but for those with courage and curiosity, the journey promises revelations that defy imagination. Now that we've seen how the calls and sigils form a sonic geometric gateway, let us venture farther into the labyrinth of Enochian's hidden architecture, where paradox and potency intertwine. The paradox of non-human intelligence. Enochian magic insists there is an other behind the veil, entities bearing names and functions unlike any in human mythos. But are these independent intelligences, or facets of our unconscious mind, projected onto a cosmic screen? Practitioners report voices answering with startling autonomy, offering instruction far beyond their knowledge. In one recorded session, an ethereal presence guided an adept to identify a lost family heirloom, describing its location in minute detail. Skeptics label this a clairvoyant suggestion. Believers see undeniable proof that the calls tap into a supramental intelligence. This paradox, whether angelic or archetypal, remains at the heart of Enochian's mystery. Planetary chains and zodiacal resonance. Beyond the foundational invocation table lies a deeper grid. The 30 aethers, or etheric layers, mapped by Dee. Each aether corresponds to a constellation within the zodiac and a quality of being: courage, despair, transcendence. Working through these levels requires intoning specific Enochian words in precise sequences, like ascending the rings of a celestial spiral. Adepts speak of shifting perceptual frames as they cross each threshold. Colors intensify, time warps, and the boundary between self and world softens. Some magicians attempt daily ether journeys at dawn, believing certain hours align with particular zodiacal currents, thus amplifying their connection to the desired layer. The living word and the fallibility of translation. One persistent obstacle in modern Enochian work is translation. Early transcriptions blurred Kelley's phonetics. Printers miscopied glyph shapes. Later occultists imposed Latin grammar onto Enochian, despite its distinct syntax. As a result, many published translations stray far from the original vibrational intent. True practitioners return to Dee's diaries, comparing multiple manuscripts, listening for subtle vowel shifts, like a musician tuning a centuries-old instrument. Only by reclaiming the pure phonemes can one hope to awaken the language's living word, untainted by layers of human error. Enochian as transformational mirror. A seldom spoken truth is that Enochian may function less as an external summons and more as an internal mirror. Each call stirs up latent patterns in the practitioner's psyche, traumas, aspirations, and ancestral echoes. This psychoalchemical effect can be transformative. Chronic fear gives way to courage. Rigid beliefs soften into awe. Some occult psychologists argue that Enochian is the most advanced form of active imagination, a Jungian technique wherein inner archetypes emerge through symbolic language. Whether one calls these archetypes angels or parts of the soul, the effect is the same: a confrontation with the hidden self. Rituals of revelation and the Black Mirror. Central to advanced practice is the Black Mirror ritual. After days of silent meditation on a particular call, the magician gazes into a dark, reflective surface, obsidian or black glass, while repeating the syllables. The mirror serves as a liminal veil. Images flicker, ghostly landscapes, cryptic symbols, faces half seen. These visions often carry riddles, each riddle requiring an intuitive leap to solve. One legendary account describes a seeker who, after months of mirror work, received a composite glyph that, when etched into metal and worn as an amulet, reportedly cured chronic illness. Such tales, whether literal or allegorical, underscore the language's capacity to enact profound inner shifts, guardianship, and ethical boundaries. Yet with great power comes great peril. Historical records caution that Enochian work can unbalance the unwary. Dee himself warned of loose spirits that mimic angelic voices, leading seekers into obsession or despair. Modern practitioners emphasize rigorous mental discipline, dietary regulation, and ethical vows, pledges to employ Enochian only for spiritual illumination, never personal gain or harm. This code of conduct mirrors ancient mystery schools, where knowledge was taught only to those deemed worthy. In Enochian magic, the weight of that guardianship remains as vital today as it was in Dee's candlelit chambers. A language beyond words. Ultimately, Enochian is not just a collection of calls and sigils, but an invitation to enter a living cosmic conversation. It challenges our assumptions about language, intelligence, and the porous boundaries between worlds. Some mysteries will persist: why certain calls demand silence afterward, why particular angels respond only at solstice, or whether Enochian will ever fully translate into thought. These questions beckon us onward, urging each seeker to become both student and scribe of this celestial tongue. In the next section, we will explore how you can begin a safe, grounded practice of Enochian magic. Simple rituals, daily disciplines, and protective measures to channel the language's power without losing yourself in its infinite depths. To walk the path of Enochian magic is to become both artisan and instrument, crafting your own sacred space, then attuning body and mind to the celestial frequencies. Below are concrete steps and practices to begin your dialogue with this angelic tongue, grounded in safety and clarity. 1. Preparing the sacred space. Choose a quiet chamber, an altar table draped in dark cloth, 4 candles placed at cardinal points. Arrange a handwritten copy of the invocation table before you, its sigils carefully inked. Center yourself with 3 rounds of deep abdominal breathing, visualizing a column of white light descending through your crown and anchoring at your feet. This light forms a protective barrier, ensuring only benevolent intelligences may enter. 2. Daily micro-ritual. The morning call. Start each dawn with a single verse from the first call. Stand facing east, where the sunrise symbolizes new beginnings. Inhale to full capacity, then exhale as you intone the chosen line in clear, measured tones, allowing each syllable to resonate in your chest. Close your eyes and listen. Do you feel a subtle shift in temperature? A soft pressure at the third eye? Even a faint vibration signals the language is awakening within your subtle body. Record any sensations or visions in a dedicated grimoire. 3. Energy alignment exercises. After speaking your call, place your palms together at your heart center. Slowly press and withdraw your hands, feeling the magnetic attraction, an apple chai ball technique drawn from Qigong practice. This fusion of Enochian speech with energy work trains you to catch the angelic resonance in your hands. Practice for 5 minutes, then open your hands and release any residual tension by imagining dark clouds dissolving into light. 4. Mirror gazing for insight. Once weekly, perform the black mirror exercise to deepen your connection. In dim light, sit before a polished obsidian mirror and repeat a short Enochian phrase, such as Zir Roriel, open the hidden door, for 15 minutes. Do not strain. Allow the words to flow naturally. What appears in the glass, fleeting symbols, half-seen faces, color flickers, may carry guidance. Sketch or describe these impressions in your journal immediately afterward, deciphering the riddle as a meditation. 5. Anchoring through daily language. Integrate Enochian's philosophy into everyday speech. Replace mundane requests, "Let me get through this day," with brief affirmations in Enochian. MADRIAXEL. I am guided. Even simple mantra-like usage subtly shifts your mindset toward alignment with a higher purpose. Over time, notice how your interactions, mood, and creativity begin to reflect a deeper coherence. 6. Protective vows and ethical framework. Before any significant ritual, recite a short vow in both English and Enochian. I call only for that which uplifts my soul and serves the highest good. This fulfills Dee's admonition that moral intent is the key to safe practice. Keep your diet moderate. Avoid alcohol and excessive stimulants, and maintain daily meditation to stabilize your mind. If at any point you experience distressing dreams or obsessive thoughts, pause your Enochian work and focus on grounding practices, walking barefoot, chanting simpler mantras, until equilibrium returns. Overcoming common obstacles. Phonetic uncertainty. Use audio recordings of experienced practitioners to refine your pronunciation. Keep a mirror to watch tongue placement. Emotional overwhelm. If visions become too intense, shorten your vocal invocations and focus instead on silent contemplation of the glyphs. Skeptical doubt. Approach each session as an experiment. Document small changes, heightened intuition, creative insights, or subtle mood shifts to build personal evidence of the language's power. By weaving these exercises into your daily life, you cultivate both technical skill and inner receptivity. Each whispered call, each breath-driven syllable, becomes a step along the path toward rediscovering the lost language of the angels, and ultimately, unlocking doors within your own soul. As we close the circle of our exploration, remember that the language of Enochian magic is more than an artifact of Renaissance occultism. It is an invitation to reclaim an ancient dialogue between the human soul and the unseen realms. We began with whispers in Dee and Kelley's crystal, traced the geometry of angelic sigils, and felt the breath-driven syllables awaken chambers of perception within us. We confronted paradoxes. Are these angels or archetypes? And learned that true mastery requires both scholarly rigor and heartfelt devotion. On the path of practice, you prepared a consecrated space, intoned the morning call at dawn's first light, and felt the magnetic hum of energy gathering in your palms. You peered into the obsidian mirror, gathering riddles as if they were starlight refracted through the glass, and wove Enochian affirmations into the fabric of your everyday speech. All the while, you upheld protective vows and ethical pledges, reminders that power without integrity is a flame that ultimately consumes its bearer. Yet, the deepest truth of Enochian magic lies not in perfect pronunciation or flawless ritual, but in the transformation it ignites within. Each vocalized call becomes a key, unlocking rooms within your psyche where forgotten truths and dormant potentials reside. As you learn the language of angels, you learn to listen to the fragile, half-spoken stirrings of your spirit. You become a living bridge between worlds, weaving the as above, so below of hermetic wisdom into the tapestry of your life. So now the question extends to you, seeker. What mysteries will you dare to speak into existence? Will you allow these sacred syllables to reshape your inner landscape? To open doors you once thought forever sealed? The angels await, their voices echoing across the ages, ready to teach, to challenge, and to illuminate. If you feel the call, take up your grimoire, light your candles, and intone that first line. Step beyond the known and let Enochian guide you into the silence where miracles are born. And when you do, share your experiences below. Your revelations may inspire another soul to cross the threshold into the hidden library of the cosmos.